You know that bridge you drive over every single day? What if it could tell you it was feeling stressed? Or what if the building you work in could warn you about a hidden weakness years before it became a problem? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. Today, we're going to dive into how our world is literally coming alive, all thanks to a revolution in smart infrastructure.
So let's just start with a really basic question. Think about your daily commute. That tunnel you go through, that bridge you cross. How do you actually know it's safe? For most of human history, the answer was, well, we kind of just crossed our fingers and hoped for the best. For centuries, right, the only tool we had was the human eye. You had engineers with clipboards, sometimes dangling from harnesses, just trying to spot tiny, tiny cracks in these massive structures. It was slow, it was really expensive, and honestly, it was a bit of a guessing game. But all of that is changing. Our infrastructure is finally learning to talk, and believe me, it has a lot to tell us.
So, how in the world does a bridge talk? Well, we're going to break it all down for you step by step. Think of it like a journey through the mind of this smart infrastructure. We're going to look at its senses, then its brain, its memory, and finally, how it's learning to act on its own. It's a pretty amazing story, so let's get right into it.
Okay, first up, the senses. Just like you and me, a smart structure needs to be able to see and feel the world around it. But instead of eyes and ears, it uses this incredible network of high-tech sensors. Just imagine a nervous system, but it's made of fiber optics that can feel the absolute tiniest strain on a bridge. Or think about drones with laser eyes, mapping every single inch of a skyscraper. Even your own car can be part of this network, sending back data on road conditions as you drive. It's this constant, non-stop stream of information, creating a living, breathing picture of our infrastructure's health.
And get this, it's not just happening on the ground. From way up in space, satellites can watch over an entire city, and they can detect changes as small as a single millimeter. That's kind of like spotting a dime on the sidewalk from an airplane. This gives us an incredible early warning system for problems we would never, ever see with the naked eye. And this right here, this is a total game changer. Instead of putting people in really dangerous situations, we can just send in the robots. We're talking AI-powered drones and underwater vehicles that can get to places humans can't, and they can spot these tiny flaws that could lead to huge problems down the road. All right, so having all this data is great, but it's really just noise without a brain to make sense of it all. And that's where AI comes in. This is the powerful mind at the very heart of our smart infrastructure. Now, don't think of some sci-fi, movie-style AI. Think of it more like a team of a million tireless engineers who are constantly watching over our infrastructure 24/7. It can analyze more data in a single second than a human could in their entire lifetime, looking for those little telltale signs of trouble before it even starts. Here's a perfect example of how it works in the real world. So a drone takes, say, 10,000 pictures of a dam. For a human, analyzing all that would be weeks of painstaking work. For an AI, it's a few minutes of analysis. It can spot a crack the size of a human hair and instantly flag it for an engineer to check out. And that tiny crack, caught early, could be the difference between a minor repair and a major, major disaster. Okay, so our smart structure can see and it can think. But to truly understand itself, it needs a memory. It needs to remember exactly how it was built and see how it's changing over time. And that's where the digital twin comes in. A digital twin is so much more than just a 3D model. It's a living, breathing copy of a real-world structure that exists entirely in the digital world. It's constantly being updated with real-time data, so it's always an exact mirror of its physical counterpart. It's kind of like having a voodoo doll for a bridge, but, for good. Let's break it down like this. The original blueprint, that's the plan. But the digital twin, that's the reality. The blueprint is a static document. It doesn't change. The digital twin is a living, evolving model. One shows you what was supposed to happen. The other shows you what's happening right now. So we've got sensing, thinking, remembering. It all leads to this moment, action. Because what good is all this information if you can't actually do anything with it? Let's see how smart infrastructure is learning to respond to the world around it. This is really where it all comes together. The system can now basically predict the future. It can tell engineers exactly what needs to be fixed and when, saving a ton of time and money. It can even run disaster simulations, like a virtual stress test, to see how a building would hold up in a real earthquake. It's kind of like having a crystal ball for our cities.
And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. The next frontier is quantum computing, which could give us a level of predictive power that's almost unimaginable. We're talking about being able to see the future of our cities with incredible clarity and being able to prevent disasters before they even have a chance to happen. So, what's the big picture here? Why does all this tech stuff really matter? Well, it's not just about cool gadgets. It's about the future of our cities and really the future of our lives. You know, this is about so much more than just smart bridges and buildings. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that your family is safe, that your city is resilient, and that we're actually building a sustainable future for the generations to come. It's about creating a world that's not just smarter, but just plain better. I love this quote, a bio-inspired closed loop system. Yeah, I know that's a bit of a mouthful, but what it's really saying is that we're building cities that are alive, they can sense, they can think, and they can even begin to heal themselves. It's a really profound shift in how we think about the world that we've built. So, the next time you drive over that bridge, just take a second to think about it. It might just be thinking right back at you. We're entering a whole new era where our cities are no longer just collections of concrete and steel, but they're becoming living, breathing partners in our lives. So the question is, are we ready for a world that's as smart as we are?